Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Hanson. I'm here to read to you again. This is another book for our plant unit called How a Seed Grows. Now, you're going to notice from the information that's in this book that a lot of this information is true. It's factual, okay? And you're going to be asked to write facts from this book. But unlike much of the nonfiction that we've looked at before, you will see illustrations, not photographs. Okay? But this is a science book meant to teach you all about how seeds grow. A seed is a little plant, a plant that has not started to grow. Apple trees and daisies, carrots and corn, clover and wheat all grow from seeds. Here is a tree seed. Someday it will be a tree like this. And a lot of times we call these helicopters when I was little because if you drop them, they spin in circles like helicopter blades. This is a flower seed. Someday it will be a flower like this. It's a sunflower seed. I'm sure many of you have seen those. Some seeds grow slowly. These are the seeds of an oak tree. An oak tree grows very, very slowly. Suppose you planted an oak tree seed. You would be a father or a mother or even a grandfather or grandmother, and the oak tree would still be growing. Many of you will find oak trees out in your yard, around your neighborhoods. You'll find those acorns. Squirrels are always hunting for those. Some seeds grow fast. This is a bean seed. It grows very fast. It grows so fast that it becomes a bean plant in just a few weeks. You can plant bean seeds yourself. We used pole beans. You can use pole beans, bush beans, or lima beans. You can plant the seeds in eggshells, or tin cans, or old cups, or little flower pots. Be sure that your containers have holes in the bottom. If we were in class right now, we would be growing lima bean seeds. They do grow very quickly. And you remember to poke holes in the bottom of your container so that the extra water drains out. We used eggshells. We used a pencil to make holes in the eggshells. We filled 12 eggshells with soil like this. We made a hole in the soil with a finger like this. You just poke down in with your finger. When you've made a hole in the soil, you plant a bean seed in it. Plant one seed in each hole, and you cover that seed with soil. And soil, boys and girls, if you don't know, is just a different name for dirt. Eggshells make great little planters because they give some nutrients to the seeds. Sprinkle the soil carefully with a little water. Number the shells. Write the number 1 on the first shell. Put the number 2 on the next. Keep going until all the shells are numbered to 12. That way you can keep track of, if you're doing a journal or anything like that, you can keep track of your plants. Put all the eggshells in an egg carton. Put the carton in the sunlight on a windowsill. Some bean seeds grow faster than others. Our seeds began to grow in 3 days. Your bean seeds may take a little longer. You won't be able to see your seeds growing yet. They start to grow under the soil where we can't see them. And they showed you how they put it in the windowsill. Because plants also, in addition to needing water, they need sunlight. Water your seeds a little every day. The water soaks into the seeds begin to grow. More water soaks into the seeds get fatter and fatter. Those hard bean seeds also begin to soften up. Wait for 3 days and then dig up seed number 1. It may be soft, it may be fat, maybe it will look the same as it did before. Soon the seed will grow so fat that its skin will pop off. In 2 more days, dig up seed number 2. So they're wanting you to keep track of what each of the seeds looks like at different times. Maybe it will look different now. Maybe the skin of this seed will be loose. You know, she's using a magnifier to look at her seeds. This would be a great fun project for home if you can round up these things. Now a root starts to grow. The root grows from one side of the bean seed. The root pushes down into the soil, down and down. Dig up seed number 3. Can you see the root? Does it look like this? And they've shown you the roots popping right out of the side of the bean seed. But then it curves and grows downward. If you don't see a root, wait another day, then dig up seed number 4. After a few more days, dig up seed number 5. Something else is happening. Little roots will be growing from the big root. They look like tiny white hairs. They are called root hairs. So you have one large central root, then you have these little white root hairs. Day after day, the roots and the root hairs push down into the soil. Day after day, the bean seeds are pushed up. The soil is pushed aside. That means it's pushed out of the way. Watch your seeds. Soon you will see pale shoots push through the soil. A shoot is the beginning of a green plant. A shoot grows toward the sun. So you see your roots will get more complex, more root hairs, and then you start to get this pale shoot coming up, which will eventually become your plant. And we figured out, let's see, plants needed, first they talked about poking holes because we need to put water in them. Then we talked about putting them in the window because they need sunlight. And here they've talked about the fact that the shoot grows toward the sun. Okay. Search your seeds. Some may have come through the ground. Some may have broken open. Some of your seeds have not started to grow. How many are growing? Count them. So you actually work your math into your science activity too, and your skills of observation. The bean seeds grow fast. The shoots turn green. The leaves come next. Now your bean seeds are bean plants. They look like this. So until it gets the leaves, those first 2 leaves, it's not considered a plant. It's a shoot up until then. How many of your bean seeds are bean plants now? A seed needs many things to grow. It needs soil and water and sun. Those are all very important facts you can use. You could even put them together into one. A seed needs soil and water and sun to grow. If a seed has all 3 of these, it will grow into a plant. It will grow into the same kind of plant that it came from. an apple tree or a daisy or carrots or corn, it will grow into clover or it will grow into a bean plant like the ones you planted. So if you plant an apple seed, you'll eventually get an apple tree. If you plant a pumpkin seed, you're going to end up with pumpkins. It's heavy. Okay. Now, they've given you an experiment here at the back, okay, of things you can learn more about seeds. But Mrs. Hanson wants to remind you some of the things this book has taught you. It's taught you 3 things that a seed needs. A seed needs soil, water, and sun. It's taught you that the root grows down and the sprout grows up. Okay. It's taught you that there is one root and then there's little white root hairs on the root. They've also told you that once it gets leaves, usually 2 of them on a bean, it's called a plant. So up until then, it's a sprout when it's just the seed at the top. But after it gets its leaves, it's considered a plant. These are all facts that were included in this story that you can use in your writing activity. So do a great job. Remember to use complete sentences, starting with capital letters and ending with punctuation. And I look forward to reading what you wrote about how a seed grows. Have a good day, boys and girls.